Welcome to Novak News. You've got Mark and I tonight. We're coming to you live from Brisbane. Nice and hot up here.
Yeah, beautiful Brisbane.
We're up here doing some work. Thought we'd mix it in a bit with the long weekend.
At the Emporium Suites.
Yeah.
If you want to stay somewhere
Emporium Hotel.
Cool.
Really nice.
Well
really
priced,
nice.
brand new.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We walked outside and we were like, what is going on here? This is insane up here. I don't know how many of you guys have actually been up to Brisbane, but what a place.
It's wicked.
It's unbelievable.
It is absolutely wicked.
Yeah.
It's, a lot of stuff's happened since we haven't been here.
I know. There's been a lot of development. A lot of people say to us, I'm going to buy up in Brisbane. And we're like, really? But it is really, it's a beautiful city. It's kind of a mix, I'm finding, between the Gold Coast and Melbourne. Don't you reckon? It's quite cosmopolitan now.
It's a very happy in its skin place.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be anything else. Like, it's a really cool...
It's so
much has bloody happened.
I know. It's insane, isn't it? It's unbelievable.
Everything's better priced.
Oh my God, it's so ridiculously cheap. We actually went over to our nephew's house. He just bought a brand new 3-bedroom house here in Brisbane. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, super proud of you. What did you pay for it? And he's like, $311,000. I was like, oh my God.
His mortgage repayments are $270 a week. It was incredible.
Yeah. I mean, if that was in even just the northern beaches of Sydney, there's nothing that you could buy there for that kind of money anymore. No. You wouldn't even get a studio apartment.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it is crazy. You get a lot of bang for your buck.
But people are going to bash me over this.
Yeah.
Capital growth's not there. The capital growth has never been insulated as well than Sydney. Like, Sydney's just always been the thumper.
Do you know what? I reckon that's going to change quite significantly after what I've seen here in Brisbane and the development. I reckon watch this space. The rental return's always been really good here. They haven't had the capital growth.
Has to be good because the capital growth's no good.
Yeah.
You know what happens fundamentally, and this is not what tonight's discussion about. Tonight's discussion is about lack of stock in Sydney.
Yeah.
But we can also overlay it into Brisbane. Something, guys, you have to understand is that the amount of stock that you dump into the grid can influence the price. When an area is landlocked like Sydney, that just underpins capital growth so much.
Yeah.
And Brisbane has the potential to unlimited supply. They are, Sydney for some reason are just warlords about, we can't develop here, we won't develop there, we can't develop here. We did on our train lines on the outer parts of Sydney, but most of Sydney is very well insulated. Brisbane's not.
We had a conversation with an Uber driver today, though, about how good their council is. Like, these guys seem to be able to get away with a hell of a lot more than what we can in Sydney. We're just so regulated, aren't we?
Yeah.
In terms of what we can and can't do. But what we were going to talk about tonight is, where has all the stock gone? There is a huge shortage of stock, and it's Sydney-wide. Northern Beaches, from what we're reading from a lot of the reports, seems to be the worst affected.
Yep.
I've actually got some figures here, which Mark said to me before, what are you doing? I said, I'm writing down stats, and he looked at me like, oh my God, you've changed. Because Lisa and numbers, it doesn't go very well. Stats actually bore me. But in this particular case, usually, I just want to go over some stats just so we can see how bad this shortage is. And
before you go over the stats, can I start on this note with to underpin these stats?
Yes.
I want you guys to have a think about, if a body is sick, if our economy is the body and the body's sick, and the penicillin is low interest rates, or the penicillin is lack of stock in the market, what happens when we go back to normal levels in the market? Does that mean we've still got a shit property market? So at the moment, is our property market, I want you guys to have a think about this, is our property market being underpinned by low stock and low interest rates? And it's that simple. Because if it means that we don't have anywhere to go with lower interest rates, if it means that higher stock levels come back, it could send our property market, really into a tailspin. So
there's speculation that could happen as well.
You know what? When we used to have a good property market, we had 10 to 12 indicators of positivity. We had, strong economy in so many different. We had Asian exports were going crazy. We had the Asian markets purchasing into us. We had employment at super low levels. We had interest rate. There were so many other factors. We've been bare stripped of any goodness in our economy, and we're actually left with just low interest rate and just low stock that's underpinning our property market. So I think we've got to be really careful not to be on the trigger too early to say the market's back.
I'm not overly convinced that the market's back. I think I'm calling it a sugar hit. I think that this is actually just a sugar hit. I do believe that the market is going to heavily plateau out as soon as we have more stock coming to the market. But what we want to cover tonight is, where is the stock?
Where's the stock?
So there is, as an office, we're very fortunate that we do have some good solid listings and some good solid appraisals, which means that our pipeline is nice and full. But reports are indicating that, as I said, Sydney-wide, there is a massive, massive shortage of stock out there. So just some stats.
Tell us your numbers.
God, this is hysterical. I've changed.
For you've changed.
Like, what has happened to me? Look what happened to me when I came into sales.
I'd normally be doing the numbers.
I used to be all scatter cushions and fun stuff, and now I've turned into a statistics person. Where are you going? Are you leaving? I was like, oh my God, he's leaving. I've really changed.
Lisa did the puff, crease in the middle. Which was awesome.
I still do that, guys, just in case anyone's worried out there. Okay, so usually across the Northern Beaches I'm talking about, we're sitting at about 800 dwellings, and we've been as high as 1,200 over the years. Currently, this week, reports from realestate.com.au are showing that we're sitting at 564. Those numbers are really low. And that is including off the plan, and that is including retirement living as well. So that's really, really low. Just 263 houses are currently on the market.
Stats.
I did read that there was a little house in North Balgowlah that sold for about $250,000 above reserve.
Would have been $500,000 if it was with Novak.
This is true. So look, these are crazy, crazy figures. But what I'm scratching my head over is, if you're a vendor and you're sitting on the sidelines and you're thinking about coming to market, why wouldn't you just maximise this incredible market?
I would.
100%. Wouldn't you just throw it out there and just say...
I was talking with a client the other day about accepting an offer on a property, and they were saying, look, my particular suburb is going bananas, it's going to do 20% this year. And I said, careful. I
don't believe that it's going to stay this way. This is me personally. I don't believe that it's going to stay this way. As I said, I'm calling it a sugar hit. I'm saying to a lot of my clients who are saying to me, listen, let's just give it a go if you can get this price for my property. And I'm thinking, God, really? I don't know about this house that it's going to get this much, but let's give it a go. And sure enough, these properties are getting it. You know, we had that house that sold...
unbelievable prices.
Look at Rose Avenue, Wheeler Heights.
Yep.
29 Rose Avenue in Wheeler Heights sold for $1.65 million, a 3-bedroom house.
The bank valuation done on the property that the purchaser had to get came in at 1.5.
Fact. True story. Now, that we're hearing this more often than not, because these buyers are so... there's this buyer frenzy going on. And so they are willing to overpay for these properties just to actually secure it. You know, we're seeing this more and more. So is more stock likely to come on the market? What do you reckon? We're going to see more stock?
No. I reckon, you know what? And I was talking to my nephew today about...
he's on here. I saw Shane join.
Shane's on here. About what it costs to hold a property. Like, at the moment, people are actually locked in a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the bank will not... Like, I know a lot of landlords that I talk to. We've got an enormous amount of rentals that we do in our business, where we manage 3,000 landlords and tenants' properties. And talking with these landlords, what's really, really interesting is these guys don't have the ability to get into another loan if they get out of their loan.
That's the problem.
So at the moment, they're going, well, we've been bitten on the bum by land tax. Land tax, like, get this, if you've got a house in a suburb, I'll use Northern Beaches as an example, Beacon Hill, Narrowena, Allambie,
Yeah.
and you own a couple of investment properties, that house that you own, $390 a week of your rent will go direct to the coffers of the government for land tax.
And that's just crazy.
Now, if you've got a little house, that's rented for $750.
Yeah.
$390 before you've paid any interest, before you've paid council, water, any of those things,
tax,
you're going to be paying $390 of that money for land tax. So these guys going, well, that sucks, I want to get out. They look at if they get out of a house to get into something else, the banks go, won't do the loan.
Yeah.
As soon as you own more than one property, you're a leper, and they go, won't do the loan. But the saving grace is these guys were paying 9% interest rates. Interest rates are 70% lower than what they were paying typically 10 to 20 years ago.
Without a doubt.
70% lower. Yeah. I know we're going off 0.25s all the time, but fundamentally, if you're paying interest rates of 9 and now you're paying interest rates of 3, you're 70% lower in the marketplace, your repayments. So that makes it easier. Screw the land tax. I know it's where I'm going to lose a bit of money there. Yeah. I'm going to make a bit of money there.
But also financing's just so hard. It's so hard. So just, following on from what you were saying before, Mark, is that these vendors, they can come onto the market and they can get these amazing prices for their properties.
Yeah.
And then what?
Yeah.
So first, there's two steps. First of all, they're scared that they're not going to be able to refinance. Yep. Okay, because financing is hard, even though interest rates are low. And second of all, what are they going to buy? So I've got some vendors at the moment. They're coming out of a really, really nice house.
Yep.
They're waiting to bring it on the market, but they're out on the prowl looking for something to buy. They're like, Lisa, we can't find anything. There's nothing out there for us.
Interesting.
So they're like, we're scared we're going to sell for a great price, and then we're not going to be able to buy something because there's nothing out there.
Yep.
And this is the concern for people. So it's not the concern then that they're not going to be able to get the price that they want. It's where are they going to go? What are they going to do?
Okay, now I do, from my knowledge, what I do see is that this isn't all parts of Sydney. I think there's a little bit... Well, first of all, there was an article where I did research tonight as well.
You read?
Yeah. I don't do research much.
Wow.
I did research tonight.
I think we're getting old. That's what it is.
No, I'm just but tonight, 750,000 new dwellings have to go into Sydney in the next 20 years.
Yes.
Right? That's 38,000...
For the growing population.
Just to accommodate the growing population.
Yeah.
Now, we're actually in trouble if we don't supply those new properties. People always roll their eyes back when they see a new unit block or when they see a subdivision.
Yeah.
If we don't supply that, what it actually does is it makes renting for your kids and renting for anyone, for immigrants, for people, more expensive because there's not enough investment properties in the market.
Yeah.
It makes buying a lot more expensive because there's so much competition. The prices can potentially double in 5 years because of the lack of supply. So this new supply has to come into the market, must come into the market, otherwise we're fundamentally screwed because people just won't afford. It'll be an unlivable city, unaffordable city. As soon as it's an unaffordable and unlivable city, we're in even more trouble. And I know our lockout laws have contributed to our city being a bit more unlivable. But coming back to DY, coming back to the northern beaches, we typically don't have a lot of stock because we don't have a lot of new developments.
Even though a lot of people would argue that because it's saying, like, what are you talking about?
I know.
We've just had all these developments going up. It feels like we have because it's all been there on that main arterial road. It's been all across Pittwater Road where we've had the 3 major developments. The reality... Yeah. And they all actually... commenced building at the same time and finished up around the same time. If you push out through all of those side streets, nothing's changed there in 40 years.
40, 50 years.
They're all still the good old 1960s, 1970s buildings. So there's, for the most part. So there actually has not been a huge amount of development on the beaches. And then, of course, we had the hospital and there were 3,000 odd employees there. We had to house them. Where are these people going to go?
We've actually got a celebrity tonight on here, Veldanelovich. Guys, Veldanelovich, who's watching, he's actually called Novak and its representatives about inquiring about his property and other properties in excess of 5,000 times. So over the last 17 years of operation, Vel is what we would call a time waster. And he has made the most amount of inquiries through myself, Lisa, and all other reps.
Don't listen to him, Vel.
In the business. And so I'd like to welcome you, Vel, for and it's really funny. He does generally keep away a little bit from live social media. Yes. I hope this won't scare you, Vel, but welcome to the show.
You're on the right track, Vel. He actually called me up for an appraisal the other day, not Mark. Mark and Vel have been friends a long time, but he knows who the better agent is.
Vel's a school friend, my best school buddy. But in all seriousness, Vel has bought property through us, sold property through us. He's not just a tyre kicker.
Yeah.
But he does ask a lot of questions.
We love him.
And he was a real estate agent previous in his life.
Yes, he was. He was. True story.
And welcome to Lisa, Nathan.
Hey, Lise. Hey, Tools.
Shanio, Mr. Luby.
And Mol. Hey, guys. Hope everyone's had a great long weekend.
Michael Edwards is actually switching between Insta and Facebook.
Wow.
It's very talented. I can see him over there.
Unbelievable. I don't actually know where to look. We've got
He's a high-tech
bit
man.
of a funny camera set up here.
He's a high-tech man.
Hey, but guys...
And also, best indicator, the number of mortgage sales, the lowest interest rates on record, but household debt, a lot of people are swimming naked. Yep, isn't that true?
Okay, true. It's true. So there's a couple of things that you can do. So first of all, to vendors, what do you do? Because, again, there's a lot of people that are just sitting there on the sidelines saying, do you know what? If I got a crazy price for my property, I would sell. But many people aren't wanting to actually spend the $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 in marketing, whatever it may cost, to go through the exercise.
Yep.
So there's a couple of things that you can do. We've got a great strategy. We're not going to go into that now. We do cover it often, but it is a $0 marketing strategy. We can get you out onto our social media. It's been extremely successful. For me personally, 23 sales now off the back of social media. Great thing for vendors is you can test the waters and it's not going to cost you anything. Some of those vendors were coming to market anyway. Some weren't. And all of them, we got crazy prices for their properties. So 23 sales there of social media. It didn't cost them anything. That's a great strategy.
And that's only in the
for
past.
vendors.
That's only in a very short time.
Over the last few months.
Yeah.
Yes, that's been over the last few months.
How many have hit portals out of the ones you've done?
So out of all of my listings, I've only had one property, Del Mar Parade, that's actually gone on to realestate.com. That was just purely because the vendors wanted to fast forward the whole campaign. Which one?
Jenkins, the 2.5 place, the block of 6.
Oh, that was on way before I was, really ramped up the social media. Yeah. So, 23 properties sold off social media. Again, great for vendors that are just saying, listen, maybe we just test the waters and see if we get a crazy price for our property in this market. It's $0 marketing strategy. No other agent or agency rather is out there doing what we are doing, purely because they haven't set up the TV channels, i.e. the social media channels that we have. What were the stats, Mark, just on that?
2 million eyeballs.
2 million eyeballs a month?
A month.
We're getting on our social media. Like, that is...
powerful.
I know it's hard for people to equate because there's nothing for you guys to equate it to, but that's really powerful.
Yep.
That's a hell of a lot of eyeballs for free. So that's number one. Number two, for the buyers,
and we do invest a lot. We invest a lot into that. It's been 2 years of it.
Yes.
But it's fortunately given us really good and tonight we're talking about lack of stock in the property market.
Yeah.
I think it's actually really sharpened our blade in an environment like this to have a really good.
Without a doubt. I've been asked, and both Mark and myself have been asked to go and do a lot of public speaking. I'm going to be speaking at a big real estate agent conference next year, down in Melbourne for another real estate agent conference, doing lots of podcasts. A lot of people are saying, how are you doing it, guys? We're going to help you. We're going to help people in the industry. We do get asked a lot. It's physically not possible for us to answer every single person that's messaging us, but we have put together podcasts, and we're going to be doing a lot more on that whole public speaking platform, just to help people and help them get onto that bandwagon with social media.
So lack of stock in the marketplace over the next 3, 6, 9 months, I reckon my punt, guys, is interest rates are going to go lower. People are going to be more inclined to keeping their property. Like, it's going to cost to hold your property.
Yeah.
It's not going to cost a lot of money.
No.
To hold your property.
Interest rates are going to come off again this year. And the banks are passing it on.
They're going to come off.
They're going to come off again.
It on. So if you're getting there, I've seen mortgage interest rates at 2.89%.
Yeah.
You know, a property of $1 million that's rented for $900 a week. The repayments on that, it's bringing in for $45,000 a year.
Yeah.
And the repayments on that are $28,000 a year, $29,000 a year. You know, landlords are just going to sit there.
Yep.
If you're living in a lovely, if you're in your home, you're going to take that money and slam it into your mortgage and pay your mortgage down quicker. But you're probably not going to downgrade or upgrade anytime soon. So I think stock levels are going to continue to be rife low the whole way across.
It's going to be hard.
Property prices are going to just stable. But we're building. I think what Michael was saying, Ed was saying about. You know, people. I don't think we should have a false economy to think we're wealthy because interest rates are so low. It's a little bit of a false economy because
it's a sugar hit.
You should be factoring in, 5 to 7 to 8% interest rate. Can I afford to live in this lovely home at those rates?
Yeah.
So stock levels being low, I think are just a byproduct of low interest rates. And low interest rates won't be around for forever, and stock levels low won't be around forever. What does this mean? If the banks are going to give you the money, take it with both hands.
Yes,
with both hands,
I
run
agree.
with it.
Yes.
Buy
something.
Buy,
oh my God!
buy.
And those buyers that I see, and vendors as well. They're like, oh, we're just going to wait. Wait for what? We know, right? That market has been so volatile.
Yeah.
We know right now what it's doing. We don't know what it's going to do next year. So while you know what the market's doing now, buy into it or sell in that in the current market because we do know what it's doing. And I've got a tip for buyers, and this is a really, really cool tip. A lot of buyers, particularly because they see I do a lot of off-market stuff on social media, they say, Lisa, can you let me know before it comes onto your social media? And I say to them, guys, if you cannot find what you're looking for, go and nominate a property. This is a really good tip.
We've been doing a couple of solid deals this way. You guys are going to love to
go and nominate a property. I say to them, grab your iPhone, okay, and go out and just photograph a property and send it to me. And I will contact that vendor for you. Because in this kind of market, every property is on the market for sale. All right? Because if I knocked on your door, if I knocked on the door of your $800,000 apartment and said, I've got someone who wants to pay $950,000. Your apartment's for sale, okay? And it did happen, and it has happened, and it will continue to happen in this kind of market. So
house nominations at no.
House nominations. Tell your buyers, go nominate a property. Do it with your iPhone. I've gone and knocked on the door or done a nice little card or gotten on the phone and spoken to vendors. And I can tell you now, there's deals there that have been done very quietly. We haven't publicised them.
Yep.
Super privately. And vendors have been over the moon. Buyers have been over the moon. That's a great little tip for buyers. Particularly, we're seeing on the Northern Beaches, there's a huge shortage between the 1.2 to 1.5 mil. That there's just no stock on the market at that level. Almost every buyer I'm talking to is looking for property at that level.
Your skin's glowing tonight as well in that nice light.
I reckon it's Bris Vegas.
Yeah, it's Bris Vegas.
Looks like we're here. Look, we got this.
I'm just looking. We got a Brisbane tan thing happening. If you saw our setup, you'd laugh.
It's all right. It's good. We're sitting in our hotel room. We've got little tripods.
We'll turn around a couple of lamps.
It's fine.
That lamp's doing a really good job on
That's the bedside lamp. We've turned around here. We're improvising.
On our Gold Coast glow.
I know, we look like we've got tans. I don't know. We were in the sun a little bit today. Anyway, we're mixing up we're up here in Brizzy. We're doing some business, having a little bit of a holiday here with our kiddies. We've been up here for a couple of days. Been on the phone for most of it, but that's all right. We'll find some downtime tomorrow. We're going to get some scooters or something. I don't know. These guys reckon they're going to get me on a scooter.
I always like it when I pick up my phone, I get in trouble for being on the phone, but Lisa's been on the phone for the whole day, so there's no use even saying anything. You just go with it and just take the pounding.
You guys are always in trouble.
Yeah.
Just get used to it.
It's on the phone all day. On the phone all day, and I go on the phone once, and it's like,
whatever. Does he look like Does he look like a guy who's in trouble for you? No one's crying for you, don't worry. No one's crying for you. Hey guys, we're going to get off Novak News because we need to make way for Mr. Panos. 8:30. He's going to be doing his. And we don't want to rain on his parade.
We should just keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
We don't want to rain on his parade.
We're going to take his whole audience away that we've got with our huge numbers. Huge.
No, but we're hungry. We want to go get some dinner too.
Yeah.
So, guys, have a great week. It's a short week, and we'd love to hear your feedback. I know there's a whole lot of agents on here. Let us know what volumes are like in your area. We're really keen to know, actually. But have a great week, hey? What are you doing, Mark? He's playing around.
Comments, low interest, mortgage sales, Michael's comments. Okay, we've looked after everyone's comments. That's good.
Looked after everyone. All right, guys, have a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you guys next week, Monday night, 8 p.m.
Take care, guys.
See ya.
Take care.
Bye, guys. Bye.